Hey, what is going on, guys? Lanh here from Android Authority. And the LG G2 from last year was one of the biggest hits of 2013. And LG is looking to capitalize on that this year with its successor. And this phone has been leaking like crazy. There's been a ton of rumors. So today we're going to be rounding up all of those rumors and let you guys know what you can expect from the LG G3. Alright, so before I get started, the LG G3 is only a couple of days away from being announced, and our very own Josh Vigar will be there covering it, doing a hands-on video and a ton of other coverage as well on top of the review itself. So if you don't want to miss out on those videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already. And also, if there's anything in particular that you guys want to see about the LG G3, if you want to know about the camera, or anything else, the display, how big the phone is, leave a comment down below letting us know what you guys want to see, and we will definitely do the best we can as far as covering all of that content. But let's go ahead and get the specs of the G3 out of the way, as this is probably the most confirmed part about this phone, which we most recently saw in a slide briefing, which lists a Snapdragon 801 processor with 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of onboard storage, and a 3000 milliamp hour battery. So this phone sounds like it's going to be an absolute beast, at least on paper. And we haven't seen that many phones so far with 3 gigs of RAM. So it's going to be nice to see another flagship phone with 3 gigs of RAM. And that 3000 milliamp hour battery sounds like it's going to last all day. So the specs on this guy sound really awesome. Supposedly it's going to be a 5.5 inch display with a resolution of 2560 by 1440. So this will be the first flagship smartphone in the United States with a 2K display, which we didn't get on the Galaxy S5 or the HTC One M8. So I'm really excited for this display. LG's always made really nice looking panels, so I'm super excited to see how crisp and sharp that it looks. And the PPI of this thing is going to be through the roof. We're looking at about 538 PPI, so it's going to be ridiculous. I'm really looking forward to it. Probably going to be one of the most enjoyable displays that we've ever seen on a smartphone. But around back, we're looking at a 13 megapixel camera, and we don't really know a whole lot about the camera outside of its megapixel count. So it's not going to be 16 or 20 like the Galaxy S5 or the Xperia Z2, but we're expecting maybe OIS Plus technology, which we first saw in the G Pro 2. So I don't see any reason for LG not to implement that into the G3. And OIS Plus basically combines hardware stabilization with software stabilization, and LG's been really good with their cameras lately, especially since the G2 and also the G Pro 2. So the camera is also another aspect that I'm really looking forward to. I really want to see how well this camera performs, how good the quality of the photos are. So definitely looking forward to that. One of the most interesting parts about the back of this phone though is that extra sensor right next to the camera, which is something a lot of people have been wondering about. Is it a fingerprint sensor? Is it a heart rate monitor? Is it a extra camera sensor for capturing depth information? What is it? Turns out, according to some of the leaks and rumors that we've heard, it's supposedly a sensor for assisting with autofocusing and allowing better performance in low light. Now let's talk about the design of the G3, and according to some leaked photos, it looks like it's still made of plastic, so that hasn't changed. But when the G2 came out last year, it featured some very interesting design cues, one being the super thin bezels on the sides, and 2 being the back-facing buttons, which LG has sort of turned into their own trademark. And both of those seem to be making a return on the G3. And the back-facing buttons, they look like they're a lot more flush to the phone now. They're not protruding. So it looks like you're actually going to be able to lay this phone down flat and not have the problem of accidentally pressing the buttons when you lay the phone down. So it looks like LG has figured that out, which is a plus in my book. As far as the colors are concerned, we're obviously getting a black and white model, which we've seen renders of. And it looks like LG is going to be jumping on the gold bandwagon with a gold LG G3. And we've seen gold on the iPhone 5S, gold on the Galaxy S5, and gold on the HTC One M8. So it looks like LG is joining in on the party with the gold option as well. I'm probably going to be picking up a black model, but it's always really nice to have options, so I'm not really complaining. On the software side of things, we're expecting the G3 to ship with 4.4.2 KitKat with LG's custom interface on top. And from the leaked screenshots that we've seen, it looks like they've scaled things back quite a bit. The UI looks a lot flatter, more minimalistic, and just a lot cleaner overall. The colors don't look quite as punchy and in your face, which to me is a good thing. So I'm liking the new look. And it doesn't look quite as cluttered either. You can see a comparison of the notification shade. Looks a little bit cleaner, not quite as much stuff going on, which is good. We're probably expecting some of the same staple features we've seen before in previous LG devices, like the Q Slide apps, which lets you multitask, and the knock code as well, which we saw in the G Pro 2. So those are probably going to be there. But one of the most interesting features that we've heard about, that we've seen leaked so far, is LG's concierge service, which supposedly is going to be like Google Now, where it gives you information based on your usage and your habits. It's going to be interesting to see how well this particular feature actually works, if it works just as well as Google Now, and what it can actually do beyond Google Now that'll actually make you want to use it, or if it's just going to wind up being like S-Voice, a service that nobody ever really uses. But I guess we really don't have that long of a wait to find out. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. The LG G3 is only a couple of days away, and like I mentioned earlier, our very own Josh Vergara will be there covering the event live, doing a ton of hands-on coverage, and the full review will be coming. So make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any of that. And also leave a comment down below letting us know what you guys want to see from the G3, whether it's the camera, the display, that extra sensor on the back, or a size comparison. Anything you guys want to see, let us know and we will do our best to cover it. But that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching this quick video. Give it a thumbs up down below if you did enjoy it, and subscribe as well. And once you're done doing all of that, make sure to check out the website at androidauthority.com for more in-depth coverage. And as always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Keep it locked on Android Authority, as we are your source for all things Android.